yesterday I introduced Raghu Vinod as the directors, and Farhad came in. Farhad came in a little. It's not good. Hello, check.
Yeah.
So let me introduce Farhad. He is the other director of the board. Farhad is also a karaoke jockey, India's foremost KJ. That's why he's telling me how to hold the mic and things. Today's session is going to be more about the tech background of the website, how to use it. We introduced you to Dantas, the webmaster, yesterday. He's going to conduct the session on how to use the website, some of the site improvements that we've made. As I told you yesterday, since the moment that the site has been started to be used as it's more of a tool rather than like a website. It's not as yet we know that on the design and content front of what is Randonneering, etc. It is still, we haven't had the time actually to devote ourselves to doing that, because the website as a tool is what a functionality of our website has been the focus for the last 3 years. And so just to give you a little background about what goes on in the back end, because the way it works is that the members have a certain level of functionality on the website, certain things that they can do which are limited by their access to only their dashboards. So all they can do as members, and even ourselves as members, we can go in there and do certain things, join events, see our data in the back end. Then, as you know, the clubs have the second level of access to the website, where everything that a club needs to do with respect to the event management and with AIR is managed on their dashboard. So, as you know, all your buttons, and they will take you through the whole details. So that is the club level access. After club level access, those of us who have been doing functional work on the website as admins of particular roles, which is also changing constantly. So we have access to approve, disapprove, or change things, or things like that, which is also a kind of limited access. And then there's the website, which is managed by Dantas, which holds all the data. Every single registration that has taken place, every single route, everything that anybody has ever done is tracked and being held over there. As far as possible, none of us touch that stuff. Even Dantas is very reluctant to delete something because we don't know at what point we may have it. And that data is all very interconnected with each other. As you know, when you use a route, all your data from the route is captured and entered into your brevet card. The brevet card is also capturing the registration and things. So the four or five of us have certain functional roles. One of them used to be membership. Membership until we went automatic, we got automated a couple of months back, was a manual job of correlating information from Explara to our website. Farhad used to handle results, now Ela has taken over that. Raghu handles in the admin, calendar. Now membership you are handling. Accounts is another thing which is maintained in our administrative admin boards that we use. So just to give you an idea, when you send us a message saying, you know, this XYZ is happening, so this is what goes on in the back, and then we interact with Dantas if there's something that we can't do and requires. And the site is constantly being upgraded because, you know, as we see the need that something needs to be done, we keep asking for it to be improved. So I'm going to hand over to Dantas to take you through the website. After that, Raghu will follow up with details on your routes, how to make routes and enter them.
Thank you. Good morning. You know the name, Dantas Joseph. Dantas is my first name, Joseph is surname. I'm a Keralite. Grew up in Delhi, settled in Pune. So I'm like a all India guy, so I don't know where I am from. So if you ask me where are you from, I don't know really. So I'm from anywhere. This all started about 3 years ago when Divya was swamped with data from all the events that was happening in 2013-14. She was sitting with many Excel sheets and trying to figure out, link them together, and all the formats with ACP needs and other things. That's the time when we just happened to talk about. I knew that she was a cyclist. I knew nothing beyond that. She knew I was somewhere in the field of technology and nothing beyond that. So that was the knowledge about our respective fields. We knew each other. So then we just happened to talk, and she said, I'm just very busy with these things. I said, what is this? What are you doing? This is so much data is there, I have to do this, send it there, this format, that format, everything is in Excel. I said, yeah, let's talk. It's high time you need to upgrade it. So then we start talking about it. That was just before the November, I think it's September, October of 2014. It was time for the calendar to go for approval to France, and they have a format to send it. So there are hundreds of calendars coming in. It needs to be in that format which ACP wants. There's like a very tedious, boring job. So she was struggling with that. That's the time when we talked. So we talked for about 2 weeks to understand what the hell is going on. I have no clue about driving. I had no clue about cycling. I had no idea. Except that Divya is a cyclist. That's the only knowledge in me. And
our first official meeting to discuss what my requirements are for the 6 hours.
The first meeting, the first time we just let introduce and see what is happening, that went on for 6 hours. Just to understand, just to go to the Excel sheets and find out, just to understand what is going on. Forget about whether we can automate it or not automate it, what can be automated or baad mein aayenge. Let's understand what is going on. Then that meeting went on for about 2 weeks, and there was no time because time was going. First was the next year, so we had something to start off before that. And we said that chalu to karna chahiye, before first next calendar has to be automated. We had about 1.5 months. So we quickly, the first one to go up was club registration. वो नहीं है तो कुछ नहीं होगा. Basic form बनाया, club का data आ गया. Then we gave clubs to enter events. So events data. So दो चीज़ हो गया. So her immediate problem of formatting it in the way ACP wants, and send that Excel sheet in the way, download it in an Excel sheet and send it to ACP was taken care. Then events. So events was already there. So then we said, we need to give them option to sign up. So member आ गया with basic information. No clear thought was gone into what is required and all. Registration चालू करो. So that's the way we started in 2014 with basic information. Then quickly, Krish from Hyderabad was there, part of the group. So Krish, Divya and me, we were the 3 guys, and Farah also was there. We were the guys who were discussing kya chahiye. There was no formal feedback system. Like right now you can write to the membership, it goes to Vishal and he sees it, he checks it. There is a discussion forum between us where we discuss whether this request is there, this requirement is there, how good is this, bad is this, what is the priority. Right now there is a system kept. Back then there was nothing. Mail आ गया, अब क्या करूँ इस situation. So Krish helped initially. Then Krish moved on and Vishal came into the picture. Raghu came into the picture. So Raghu, we interact a lot right now. So all the requirement goes through Raghu right now. And there's a tech team of the core group. So the tech team on the WhatsApp and other meetings, we discuss everything. So that is how we work now. The website is not complete, and I don't think it will ever be complete because new technologies are coming in, new things are coming in. We are not on the app, we are not on the phone. Many things now after developing we feel that ये improve करना चाहिए, अच्छा नहीं चल रहा. For example, route. I myself is not happy with the routes, but routes something had to be there. Otherwise, Brave नहीं चलेगा. So routes are there. Divya mentioned it yesterday. That module is still not okay. We know it that it is not okay. But other priorities are there. Route चल रहा है तो चलने दो. The rest of the stuff we have to take. So there are many things which we are improving. Constantly looking at the website. Look and feel not there. It's a basic website which will work on phone, iPad, and all kinds of devices. That's all. Functional. There's no information about, like I said, about products India or ACP, or nothing is there. So no information, no basic stuff is there. FAQ module is very basic, it's not there. So this is what we are in the pipeline. So I'll just run through three presentations. One is the rider modules, then the club modules, which you may be more interested. But you should pay attention to the rider module also. The first point of contact for any rider is you. So you should know. They ask a question about EMI kaise karo, membership ko likho. That's a longer, you can always say that, but that's a longer route. It will come to aage jayega. But if you know it, you can tell them, aise karo yaar fatavat ho jayega. So you should know the improvements which has happened in the writing module. You must have registered 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Things have moved on. Many things have changed. So you should know the writing module. So we go through the writing modules quick. Then the club modules very quick. Then the other modules. Then Raghu will take over about the actual how to use the rules and the guidelines and other stuff. He will take you through. So can we start? So very quick. So you know me. So on right top is where you register. So all kinds of members register there. So earlier we had different registration processes. OTR was a number with T. That we have changed. That's the one major change which has happened now. Now everyone gets a rider number, whether it is a one-time rider, an underage rider, or a regular membership. All the three gets a unique number now. So the number remains when you upgrade, you become an adult, whatever, your number remains same now. Earlier that was not the case. If you are OTR, every time you signed up fresh, you had a new number, then you could not get all your previous data together. You had to write to us, we had to search the database, link it together. There was a manual process going on. So that to avoid that problem, we have linked the membership. So even if you are a one-time member, you get a membership number. The only difference is that membership number with the end T is OTR, U is an underage rider, without any suffix is a regular member. That's how you identify the membership number. You look at the membership number, if it is ending with T, it's a OTR. Ending with U, it's an underage rider. Others are regular numbers. So that's how everything. When you become a regular member, that U goes off or the T goes off, the number remains. So your number is a permanent number, your data is linked to it. So OTR gets can see only the latest brevet and homologation on the OTR dashboard. That's something new which is added. Earlier there was no OTR dashboard. Now OTR also gets a dashboard with a very limited access, which is the last brevet. We have added that. Earlier they had no access. So when they become a regular member, they see all. So suddenly from the last brevet, they can see everything. So because the data is already linked at the back. So you can go ahead fast, quickly.
We didn't want to give them full access until they come into the membership. Once they become a member, they enjoy a lot of facilities on the website.
So the new membership registration also has changed. So from 2014-15, this is very latest. So earlier people used to enter wrong email IDs. Then they will say, I did not get my membership number. Then you say, team is kar diya usne, kuch kar diya. So we wanted to verify that first. Email is the first mode of communication with BTC. Everything goes on email. So email ID has to be there. So and age verification, which has become very important for underage rider. So on the first screen, we just take that information, nothing else. You decide whether you want the OTR, 1-year membership or 5-year membership. Enter your date of birth, email ID. That's it. You go. That's the first thing you do. Next week. Next. So next. Okay. So depending on the data which is there in the database, it checks. So this one is a duplicate email ID. Email ID is a unique ID. So that is your login ID. You cannot have two records with the same email ID. There were problems earlier. Now we cleaned up all the database, removed all the duplicate email IDs, and cleaned up the database. Right now, every individual has got a unique ID. So that checks now. So from the database, if there is a unique ID, it checks right now, and it tells you there is a duplicate email ID, and you are the member. So Dandas Joseph, this is your ID number. So this is an OTR. So you want to upgrade. So that option is given. So for an OTR, you can upgrade right here. Next. So the other one is age. So if you are an date of birth is less than, age is less than 18, it checks it and it gives you this one. Email address, your 8-year-old guy is trying to log in, you are not allowed to log in. So this also goes on. Next. So all this checking happens initially in the first screen. So we want to avoid wrong data going in. So email ID, date of birth, these two things are checked with our database for duplicate email IDs and age. These two things are checked first. So we don't go ahead before we do that now. Earlier we could register with wrong email ID, duplicate email ID, whatever age you could register. Then manually we used to check, oh shit, this is an unraised rider, we cannot enter this. So those kind of validations we have added. Step 2.
So as you are aware, the membership, once somebody has done a one-time rider for no extra change fee, they can convert from a one-time ridership, they can upgrade their membership to an annual membership. Sometimes somebody does one rider one time and then says, okay, I like this, I might do more rides. Then they can upgrade to membership. And also, as you know, we have long-term membership of 5 years.
Next.
Really committed, people. I think we get about 250
Next. Yeah.
270 of long-term members.
So the longer membership 5-year member, which is 1600, and 1 year is 500 as you know, and OTR is 150. So if you are an OTR, you can pay the balance of 350 and become a regular member from the dashboard anytime. So that option is there. So it always shows that, I'll show you the dashboard of the OTR. So from there you can become a regular member. So once you enter this information correct, you will get an email. So after this validation, an email is triggered to you. In that email, there is a link which you have to click. The only idea of this is that you have to enter a valid email ID. So if there is a valid email ID, you will get that email, you will be able to click on that link. Otherwise, you won't be able to click on that link. So that's no idea. You click on that link, you will come to this screen, which is step 3. So step 2 is checking the email and clicking. Step 3 is here. This is where you actually fill up the form. So you enter the basic information like name, gender, mobile phone. Next week. 2 things which you need to be careful is you pick up your club here, affiliated club, and you have to enter emergency details, emergency name and emergency form. Earlier people used to enter their own number as emergency number. I don't understand how can you be the emergency contact when you are in an emergency. You are in an emergency. And
we put that control in place now. Now the website will return an error to the member if they are entering their own mobile number as their emergency.
you can see that right now. See the message there. It says that mobile phone and emergency phone cannot be same. So if you enter the same number, it won't take it. It will give an error. So that validation, we have done it. You have to enter a different number. One thing which we need to, we were talking yesterday, husband, wives, both are rendered is, don't put your own each other's number, because both are riding. What is the point of giving your own each other's number as emergency? You should give somebody else's number who is not riding. Ideally, we are not checking that right now. So don't be touchy about it. My wife is my emergency contact. She is also riding with me. So what emergency is there? So just be somebody else who we can connect with.
This is something you need to educate the
Educate
rider
rider.
during your briefings.
And why is it important? And why is it important? This emergency contact number is important. In case of any emergency, that's the number Odax India and the club contacts. Because this is there in the club, you sheets and everywhere, this number comes up. So any emergency, this is the number they dial first as an emergency. So that has to be somebody who is very close to you, who will respond to an emergency situation. So these two things are important here. You can pick up the club here, or you can pick up Independent India, which is, if you don't want to be affiliated to any club, that option also is there. Next. So once you fill up the form, it goes to the confirmation of the payment. Before going ahead from here, you are supposed to check everything, because you are making the payment. So you have to ensure that the payment is made for the right reasons which you have signed up for. So if you say down 1600 rupees, next. So the amount you check and the name and new membership. So what is the purpose? This screen remains similar for all payments to Odax India. You will get this screen. Whether it is a club payment, upgrade payment, whatever payment, this is a standard screen and it tells you what is this payment for. So you have to check this before you make them. So I know that this is Dandas Joseph making a payment for new membership. Okay, that is correct. Then only you should press the button. Next. So this is where the payment gateway is there. We have deliberately kept it in the CC Avenue website because we don't want to capture any credit card information or any information. We don't store anything. That's why we move it into CC Avenue website. So this is the CC Avenue screen. We could have captured it in our screen. We don't want to do that because we don't want to take that responsibility of credit card information being leaked and anything. So it goes to the secure server of CC Avenue. Every information is captured in the CC Avenue secure server. So this goes away from our website to CC Avenue server. So this screen which you see is a basic CC Avenue screen. So only the continuous logo is there on top, there's nothing else. So the billing information is verified on top. You check that once again, it is picked up from the database. This is one good opportunity for you to check that the information in the database is correct because it's pulled from the database. Next. Then you have got the option of paying. You have got all the options. You have got the UPA option. I found that to be the fastest one. I tried that. It just asks for the phone number. It sends a 4-digit code to your phone, and then the code, payment is done. So UPA is like fastest in all those things, but you have got all the options of credit card, debit card, net banking, everything. So then you have to check, enter your card number, information, verify the amount. Go ahead and make the payment. So you press on to make the payment. It goes to CC Avenue. It may go into your bank for verification code and other stuff. If it is a credit card, you may get a regular SMS with the PIN and everything. Then it comes back to this screen. This is also important because this, when it comes to this screen, thank you for your payment, this screen is where the information is captured back into our database. So if you don't see this screen, the payment is made but the information is not captured in our database. There are cases where sometimes it happens, net chala gaya ji. So you have actually made the payment, but before that information gets updated to our database, something happens. Power chala gaya, net chala gaya, drop ho gaya, server kharab ho, kuch bhi. So out of 200 we got one failed transaction. So then, 2-3 we got now in CC Avenue now. So we get, even now we get once in a while we get a failed transaction, but we can see that a failed transaction. Member flags it up saying that payment kariye mera dikhi nahi rahe. So we check CC Avenue, we check it, we can see that the payment is made. We approve it, manually we approve it. That happens. But if you see this screen, means everything is okay. This screen means everything is fine. So payment is updated, database is updated. If it is a new member, you will get a email with your membership number and everything. You are a member. Earlier there was a delay of sometimes 1 day, 2 days, 1 week because payment used to go to Explorer. Then somebody would manually check Explorer and come here, verify that the email ID is matching and approve the membership. So that whole loop is taken away now. So you fill up the form, you make the payment, you are a member of Odax. So that is the major change now. So you can just continue at the end, the button. This is the email which you get at the end. So you get your rider number, Your valid date, this is a 5-year long-term membership, so it's valid till 31st October 2021. You get your website, login details, password, and all the payment information. Everything comes here. So you can log in, you've got information about your payment reference here, so any dispute, any problem, you can quote this number of the payment. We have this information, you can check it. So you have to keep this email safe, that's all. This is your information, your confirmation of membership. Next, login. Okay. So once you have a member, you can log in. One small thing added here is the forgot password. Below that, if you see, one-time riders can click the forgot password link to get their rider number and password. This is a new option which is there. Earlier, OTRs were not allowed to log in. So there were many OTRs in the system with no password, they don't know. So all the existing OTRs with a number T something, they can just go to forgot password, enter their details, forgot password, email ID. They will be assigned a new rider number, which is the new series, and an email will be triggered to them with their login details. So you should encourage all your old OTRs to go to the website, click on the forgot password, get your new rider number, and log in and check the dashboard. So they get access to the dashboard. So this you encourage your OTRs. Whenever they come back, you tell them, you go by, put your old number, you get a dashboard access. Because right now, all the registration, everything happens from the dashboard. Even OTRs have to sign up from the dashboard. So they need to do it. Instead of registering again, they can just revive their old OTR membership. So that's where this is there. So on the right side corner, member login. And this is the same thing here, login. So wherever you are, you can click on the right side corner and you come to the screen. Once you log in, this is the screen you get. Next slide. This is the dashboard of a member. So basic information is on top. Your rider number, your name, your email ID, up to till it's void. Then register for an event, you can register there. This the two boxes which you see is, you know that. So as your surveys happen, it keeps filling up here, medals, so you know how many you have done, whether you are eligible for SR or not SR, so those things come here. I'll show you a screen which is filled. So next. On the right side corner, you can see your name, so you know that you are signed in. So if you go to the, go ahead, click on that events page. So when you click on that events page, it takes you to the event. Next screen. This is the regular event screen which you see. So next. So there are 2-3 colors which you can see. The one which is marked in green is an active event. That means you can sign up for that event. The others you cannot sign up. This is an event you can sign up. So all the events which is marked, you can sign up for. The one which is like red are the events which are already done. You can go and check information. But this is, you can do nothing about it. The event is over or registration is closed. You cannot register. And the third one is on the right side, on the one which is darker, the next one. These are the events which are yet to be opened. So the event is there, but the sign up has not started. So the three types of events are there on the dashboard. So you go ahead. So let's say for testing, I've used a 13200 event of Baroda. Next. So when you click on that one, the event. So this is the event page. You have all the information about the event there. You can see who is the right responsible and the email ID, when is it closing, and other details about it. Next. You can see your fellow riders also there. You can see who else is riding with you. And the last button is register. So here is where you register. So you register for this event. You click that button. That's all you have to do. Just click that button and next. Next, it shows up in your dashboard. Simple. So you log into the dashboard, go to the events, click on the event. That's it. Register. You are registered for that event. So you can check that event on the first the date you can click and go back to the event anytime. So if you have got multiple events on the screen, you can click on the date, it shows you the event, it goes to the event. The results are shown here, your fee, payment status, everything is here. Homologation if was done also is shown here. And you can actually go and unregister. You change your mind, you don't want to be part of it, you can unregister anytime. So that unregister is the last button. The unregister, okay. So then the date is there. So next. So this is a dashboard of a very active and I have not, yes, this is the real one. I did not make it up. So somebody has done it last year. So this is, so I removed his name because I did not know whether you should show him or not. But yes, this is Sai Ramakrishna's dashboard. So look at this. He has done so many. I mean, this is impossible. Yeah. So this is how you see it. So ideally, we should have something like dashboard, something like this. That will be ideal. So yeah. So I am a member. I don't have even one, but I am a member. I've paid and took membership. So I am a member. So this is the same events which you see there, which is there. You can see all the status, the results, your homologation number, everything is visible on the dashboard. This is available only to the regular members. The OTR and underage rider will see only the latest one, just one. And they won't see the medal. This also won't be seen. And in the next screen, they will see only the top one, just one, the latest, nothing more. So at the end is the underage rider. This we have talked a lot yesterday. Next slide. Yeah. So the underage rider will show up only if you have got a homologated brevet. Otherwise this box won't come. So that's the minimum requirement to sign up an underage rider. We talked about that yesterday. So if you have got one homologated rider, brevet, this box shows up. So it's a special module to register your underage dependent between 15 and 18 to be used by a parent or a legal guardian only. So please make sure that nobody else signs up here. We have talked it enough yesterday, so let's move on to the next screen. So here it tells you the rule which we read yesterday, which Rakhu just read yesterday. The rule, we are telling them the rules again, once more. Before you sign up, please read everything once again. So next screen. The registration screen is slightly different. So the three options are gone right now. Email ID and date of birth is only two information because we know that it's a UIR, it's an underage rider which is signing up, so we don't have any selection. Next screen. You have to check the details, the top, read everything, then come to email ID and date of birth, and you get the membership registration screen. You fill up, you get an email, like same thing, you click on that email, you get this screen. This has got very limited information, not like your regular membership form. It has got very limited form. Your relationship with the UIR you have to pick up, first name, last name, your gender, mobile number and blood group, that's all, and your ID, that's all. The rest of the information remains to be that of the parent. Okay? The parent's information remains. You are independent. So your parents' contact information, parents' address, your emergency information is your parent, all those things remain here. So basic information only, the rest of the information is taken from the parent. Emergency control also parent ID. Then it goes to the payment gateway as usual. 150 rupees is the UIR fee, it's taken. And it goes to CC Avenue, the same procedure. Right now, we were actually approving the UIR automatically when we started out, but we got a lot of problems with the wrong information, wrong members registration. So we have changed it. UIRs won't be approved automatically. So membership gets an email, he verifies it to the extent possible, whether it is a genuine UIR or not. Once that is done, it is approved manually. So UIR approval is not automated. You cannot just pay and become a member. There's one more loop we have added here. So this dashboard you will get after some time, not immediately. So this is an OTR dashboard. So this is different from the other one, the other dashboard. Next slide. OTR and UIR. underage rider and OTR gets this dashboard. You don't have the grade, nothing is there. You can register for an event and upgrade. You have got the upgrade option. You have become a regular member or a 5-way member. This is for OTRs. You won't get it at this screen. They only get the top part. They cannot upgrade. By the way, underage riders are automatically upgraded to OTRs when they turn 18. So they just become OTR. They turn 18 and they are OTR. They are independent. So they get an email.
That's automated.
Yes. Yes. So all the US become, when they turn 18, they become OTRs. Same login details, nothing. The number just changes. The 5-year T will become 5,000. That's all. So and they get OTR screen, so they can upgrade them. So that's all. So all practical purposes, we treat an OTR and US same in the system, except they cannot upgrade, and the other things like you need to have a pen and the other things are there. So that I'll just show you. You can see the suffix and find out whether it is a regular member, an OTR or a UIR, T and U. It is very simple. Next screen. Yeah, next screen. Okay. Now we go back to further. Next one. Yeah. So this is the OTR dashboard. This is the new one. So if you come to this website for the first time, they will see, we are supposed to see this. So an OTR coming back, he knows that I don't need to register. I have got a new dashboard. So you can click there, and I showed you this one. They can just go to forgot password and get their password. And this is the forgot password. You enter the email ID. Next. OTR will get the new rider number and they will be able to log in. And the rest of the dashboard, you have seen the OTR dashboard. So they get access to the OTR dashboard. So the third one here is one-time rider, which is you can upgrade now. The upgrade also is same. You have to go log into the dashboard and upgrade. Earlier you had a different method to upgrade. You had to fill up a form and pay the money, and then upgrade was done manually. Now there's nothing. Upgrade option is available OTR dashboard. That means you should have a login details for dashboard. Go log into the dashboard, upgrade, and the upgrade is done automatic. So there's no delay in upgrading. You can pay the private fee and get upgraded instant. Yeah, the data stays now. For OTR, all the previous private information stays. That's the biggest plus point now. So the moment you upgrade, you see your full previous previous. So that's
This feedback we had before, where some riders contacted club reps. I rode as an OTR, and now I have done 2-3 breves. I am now qualifying for SR, but I can't see all 4 riders on my all 4 rides on my dashboard. So based on those couple of feedbacks, that's how that has helped us to improve the site. Now when a rider goes for an upgrade, their previous ride which they may have done as an OTR, as a temporary membership, that gets migrated to their annual account or long-term account, whatever they've opted for. Yep.
So what we have to, basically what we are trying to do constantly is review, make things smoother and reduce our workload of doing these manual things. So as we see things going on, we try to.
There are delays in the manual things. At the moment there is a human intervention, there are delays. All of them are, all are volunteers. So they find time to do this. So we wanted to avoid that loop completely and make it automated so that if somebody upgrades, they are upgraded right there. Somebody signs up, they are a member right there. So if I want to sign up for an event, I can go, pay the money, become a member and sign up for the event all in 5 minutes time. So that is how it is right now. So otherwise there were a lot of spot registrations happening. Now you don't need to do the spot registration. You can tell them just go to the website, sign up, you will get a membership number right there, and you do it. So the spot registration, you can discourage spot registrations also, right? Okay, so the third one is one-time riders upgrade option. That also is in the same dashboard. You have to go through the same process, get your dashboard, login and upgrade. All members can log in on the right side top corner. So this is all there as far as the rider is concerned. Do you have any questions here? Yes.
It says attention newbies, how to change your AIR login password and other profile details. Yeah, you guys see it? Page number 34. Yeah. So this is one way to just reach out to the riders, advise them, please update your information, especially if the emergency contact info is outdated. People move, be it for job or personal reasons. They would have shifted from one city to another city, and their address and emergency contact is for a different location altogether. So yeah, so any next question? Yeah, go ahead.
Regarding the club rep and club login and club login.
Yeah, so there will be a club module. We'll come to that. For the rider module, any questions?
When a member moves from one city to other city,
Yeah.
is it required to change the name of the club?
So again, in the membership profile, they have that option to change their affiliation as well. Yeah. So if a rider is coming regularly to your events, you know it's come to your knowledge that he's moved to this city, and but in your registration list it still shows affiliated to the old city. You can prompt him. So often this is something. See, we have FAQ section also, but you will find many times riders have not bothered to read the FAQ. They bombard you with 50 questions. So this is what I do. I have that link on my phone already. So I just first forward that link to them. Please go check out the FAQ. You still have questions? Come back to me. You know? So you need to do the same thing. That will reduce your burden as well. And you know, like I just showed you, we put in the book also some sample messages that you can develop for yourself. It could be club specific, event specific, things you are used to. There is certain thing you need to advise about riders or for a very specific route of your event. So you can communicate that. So this, even this affiliation, you can just prompt the rider that, you know, if you change it to this new club, the advantage is that he will appear in your registered riders list, so you can better communicate with the rider, yeah, about upcoming events. So any other questions about rider? Let me clarify that. Okay. First of all, when now the way the system now works, because of the payment gateway integration into the site, yeah. Any rider who signs up as OTR, okay, or a new membership, see, when it's an annual membership or a long-term membership, the sign-up process does not ask them to pick the ride they want to ride, okay. They sign up, they get their AIR login credentials, and then when they log in for the very first time with those credentials, they go about picking their ride, whichever they want to register for, be it 1, 2, 10, there's no restriction. But for the OTR specifically, there is a restriction where, because they are permitted to ride for only one event. So as part of their sign up process itself, they have to select the event. So there, some of the first time sign ups who especially are considering only OTR, they don't want to go for annual. So they try to go and select your event for which you may have already closed registrations. Yeah, so that's the thing. So once the registration is closed for an event, OTR cannot try to register for that themselves.
It's not that, say the registration closes tonight, for example.
As a regular member or OTR, you register, you make the payment, you get your number. So you are a member right there. So 5 minutes it takes to become a member of OTR right now. There's no manual process, it's an automated, you get an email with your OTR number. somebody did not receive the email or did not see it, went to some other folder and everything, that could be the reason. Otherwise, you get an email with the OTR with the rider number. You can go log into the dashboard and sign up for any event right there. So if your event closes at 8 o'clock today, let's say, or midnight, I can start up the sign up process at 11:45 at midnight, and in 15 minutes I can become a member, register and sign up your event.
Yeah.
Right now.
But OTR normally go to the event room.
No, now that also is changed right now. Right now you become an OTR, you log into the dashboard. On the dashboard there is the button, register for the event.
Okay,
So when you go to that event, if the event is closed, you cannot register. If the event is open, you can register. Simple.
I didn't get it.
No, doctor, see one second. I think what you say is that the guy that's a pretty issue in our club. Sometimes 2-3 people come and we
They directly show up to the start line to participate in your brevet.
Otherwise, everything is okay. Their bike, everything is as per our rules. But then what we do?
See, yesterday I showed you that the system does allow you to spot register, and that spot registration can be done post event also. We have not changed that system to disallow spot register, because we don't expect people to be sitting with their laptops at the start line. That person has come right there and then with a laptop and a printer, and you spot register someone and print out their brevet card. Be they OTR, be they existing members, live members or inactive members, whatever the case may be, if a rider comes, you've planned some blank brevet cards with you, you fill out by hand, you allow them to ride so long as they've taken care of your brevet fees and everything. But for uploading the result, they need to go back home, they need to log into the AIR site. No, they're talking about experienced riders who in the past may have even ridden as OTR. So there I'm telling experienced riders who may have done as, be they active, inactive, be they OTR, be they annual, anybody shows up at the start line. If you, what we said yesterday, if you feel the person who has come to the start line understands the rules, will abide by the rules, has done this thing before, permit spot registrations only for experienced riders, not first time riders. What I said yesterday had no bearing on one time riders.
Experienced rider should know what the process is and do it beforehand. I would very simply say just go and please be focus on who is your. See, here's the thing. When you're faced with a demand, just let me answer this. When we are faced with a demand that is excessive from what we are doing, the rider has not taken care of his or her own part of the scene. We are doing all this over here, spending all days sitting over here, hours every day doing this stuff. That rider can't take the simple trouble of going and clicking register for this event. Then we come and say something else. Then, can you change the this thing? Can you do that? We are not, much as these people are our friends, we are not in a place that we want to start listening to their demands for everything or indulge this kind of behavior with them. Why should any rider, when we have done so much work, there should be no excuse why you didn't do things in time. We announce our events in time, our calendar is up from 1st November of last year, you can see what is there, you want to ride. Why should Nagpur face these kind of problems? Why should any city have this issue? But so we say annual members who've been riding regularly, okay, chalo, you came to the start line without having registered because we shut it down and you suddenly realize that you were free for the weekend, fine. But somebody else just doing it, that's not encouraged that.
So that's the thing, you have to see what, with what attitude the rider has come to the start line.
There are cases where we have to follow 100 times.
What is the use?
All 500 events in this calendar. They can go and do whatever, wherever. OTR's data is linked to one specific event only. So for us to link it after an event has taken place, to link a rider who has come only for a one time to an event which has already taken place is not an option. They have to have done this beforehand.
Previously, we registered OTR after the event and put that his membership number in and motivation.
Now that is, as a policy, that is not allowed now. So you have to be an annual member. There's one more reason. I just walk in. I've never done any. I just come and say I want to ride. I've not read any rules. That's the thought behind it by changing the rule. I'm the first time when you walk in and say कि मेरा मेरे को ride करना है. I've not done anything. So you are just walking and you cannot ride. No, that is the idea behind it. So you have to be a regular member. When you become a regular member, at least you are supposed to read the rules and regulations to become a regular member.
Like Raghu said yesterday, ideally we should, when for new members, they should be attending a pre-ride briefing.
So coming to the start line without knowing anything, he has not even taken the trouble to come to the briefing. It's going to affect your ride. Yes.
Now, a rider rides the bed. He goes back and gets an annual membership. He gets his number. So the organizer can do a spot registration for him.
Yeah, that
works.
technically the system allows that. That is what I just explained.
But
That
don't you have a loophole to let one-time riders, first-time riders come and join your membership?
yeah, so that's what I said yesterday. That just because the system permits you, please don't encourage it. It is only for regular members, active members, experienced riders.
It's a very good point that you brought up. What you have basically identified is a loophole in the system. But what we are trying to say here is that we want. Why are we here? Is because we want the club. See, we are not meeting and talking at Audax India level. We are not meeting and talking with every single rider. That is what you are doing. So you have to use your discretion, and we do not want first-time riders showing up at the start line, doing a ride without having the rules, because we know that when that takes place, the chances of some conflict, some issue, some safety issue turning up because they don't know the rules. And that headache afterwards is going to be dealt with by you and by us. So, like we said yesterday, we don't care that you have 50 or 60 riders. Send them back. We are ruthless. In Pune, we are ruthless about this.
See, in Delhi, we get riders out from office and they travel overnight.
Well, if they did not take the trouble, they
See,
should
again,
have some
I think, what is it? Is it that, what's the concern here? I'm still not getting.
The concern is the riders already know that they can do it. They can spot it. So we make the rule that they cannot do it.
So this is where I'm saying that it's not that we have the facility of spot registration for certain situations, okay? But that is where the discretion falls to the club organizer. If you as a club organizer don't even want to permit an experienced rider to ride, you take that decision. Don't pass the buck to me that, AIR has now denied, it is AIR's policy not to permit any spot registrations at all. We can't take that call. There are clubs around, and I'm telling you, I myself permit experienced riders occasionally. It's been rare, but there have been once or twice last minute entries.
So, Chiro, here's the thing, that if they have travelled from here, there, wherever, they still haven't read the rules and they don't know the first thing about riding brevis, it is not our problem to indulge them. And if they are coming so unprepared, whichever part of the world they may have come from, if they are coming so unprepared to the start line, you don't want them. They will be a headache for you. And you cannot sit at the start line and read them all the rules that they are supposed to abide by. So they will go out there and do something. So neither you want the headache, and we don't want you doing this, and then because we will see it in the data. If you allow one first-time rider to sign up as an annual member and do the ride for the first time, registration has taken place after the ride, and then you will be writing us an email कि उसने ऐसे किया, वैसे किया, this happened, that happened. Cheating का case है, अभी उसको ban करो. So what we are saying here is use your discretion. You don't want this headache of riders who don't know what to do. भेज दो वापस उनको. Headache नहीं चाहिए.
Basically, don't look for us to be the bad guy here, telling riders you can't do this. Yeah, that is something gotta flex your own muscle too. I mean, I'll gladly be the bouncer, but
We can't go all over the country back.
yeah, I can't be omnipresent.
Raghu, looking at these website modules here,
Solution for this, people coming unprepared, is that we expect them to have done it. And we don't indulge, they're not having done it. That's the only thing. We keep drawing that line and telling them, if you're not, I mean, we have even in our Pune WhatsApp group, we make the WhatsApp group for the event, then somebody asks, oh, where's the start line? Like, yeah, तुमको start line नहीं मालूम, 2 days before the event, you've not looked at the map also. So I don't indulge in answering questions like that also. I tell them, please go and read. Go visit the site, check out the link. Somebody will try to, spoon feed them. Oh, that point इधर है, अरे यार तुम अभी कितना उसको समझाओगे? Keep quiet and let that person go and do their own homework. So you have to develop that culture. There is a fact that almost everybody is new to this. Like 80% of our people are new, and we are trying to grow them, but we have to expect them to mature also, right? I have one suggestion, Dantas. Since Tiro has brought out this loophole, we can actually fix it. That no and registration, even annual, that takes place after an event has been, it can be added to the event. हो गया तुम्हारा annual member, just take that into account.
Can we? Yeah.
One should have at least one event done before that, because if he haven't done the event, then he.
Listen, I think we're going in circles again. We were very clear on this. The system does not permit you to spot register newbies. The system permits you to spot register only the annual members and long-term members.
So basically,
So,
even if I have registered for annually and I haven't joined any event, and I just go there and I want to just.
okay, so now let me counter that. What if you closed your registration 4 days before the event? You can do that. You can set your own registration close date. Okay. So, but the rider has taken his annual registration 3 days before the date. 3 days is more than enough time to read all the rules, regulations and be familiar with it. In that situation, should the rider be denied the ability to register? It happens that I close registration 2 days beforehand, always. Okay. Sometimes regular rider may email me separately. He is not showing up unannounced at the start line. He is emailing me a few hours after close of registration. I don't reopen registration just for that one person. What I then do, I use the spot registration option. Yeah. So that's why I am saying there are 1,000 such situations where this facility is provided and it makes your life easy. Trust me. Just because a few riders are making your life miserable, you want the whole system to be scrapped or modified. It doesn't work like that. Yeah.
So the bottom line is about this spot registration. A regular member who has become a member before the event is closed can do spot registration. If you register as a regular member also after the event is closed, you cannot register as a spot register. That's the clarification. So you cannot, the loophole which was there, चलो बाद में कर दो कोई वो भी नहीं होगा. You have to be an already registered regular AIR member in the system before the event closes to do a spot registration.
So the bottom line is all the riders need to activate their drive for the action.
I think that is summed it up perfectly. Let's move on to the next.
Okay. There are a couple of small changes here. Next screen. So you can pick up a club from. I've added to the dashboard also the clubs. You can either pick up from the top menu or here. It comes here. This is the two places where you can click. Either you can click it in the home page itself, or click on the clubs on top and go to the club. So as you click on your club, this page is shown. So this is the public information. What are the breves which you have? Who are the contact of the club? So somebody who has not even registered can contact you if you want, and they can see what breves are there, even without going anywhere. So this basic information is. This page we will work on. So we are working on to add your logo there and other information there. If you want to give some other information about your club there, so this page will improve. There are some improvements coming here where you as a club can upload information which will show up this page. The club logo and some other general information about your club, some events, some photographs can be uploaded, which is public profile. So without logging in, anyone can come to your dashboard. You can give this link to people, your club link. You can go see the stuff there. So this improvement is going to be there.
And this particular calendar, can you have, when you are upgrading it, can you have event-specific column where we can put information on that as well, so that we can also edit it? For example, there itself, we can put some information, say that it is a night where you are.
Yes, that can be done.
We are wanting to make the club dashboards the landing ground for anybody wanting to go and write this club.
So a lot of information, basic information, without going anywhere, they should be able to see in this screen.
Yeah, because earlier we used to maintain all this on, like I used to maintain it on Google Slides, some people maintain it on some other slides. The thing
Or
is that,
Facebook.
yeah, so we want, like each club should be able to talk about what is great or special about themselves, what kind of bags they do, what kind of riders they have, that sort of thing.
So this club dashboard, public profile dashboard will change. So this will have the club logo and other things. You can share it with other people. So log in. So you can log in. Once you log in, so this is common information there, and the brevets are there, and log in on the right side. So once you log in, this is the dashboard. So this is some button which we have added there, but let's go ahead. This is all familiar to you. So on the right side corner is the view. You can see that you can view your club, come back to your club dashboard from inner pages. The first buttons are all self-explanatory. One second. Yeah, so new rules. The first two things are rules which Raghu is going to explain later. Things which you have to take care of the rules. So I'll skip that now. So you have got ride responsible. You can add your ride responsibles. That's the next screen. You can actually take off ride responsible also. So there were cases where there were 10 ride responsibles. Actually 2 are active. So now we have an option of taking somebody off, not from the database, but make them inactive. You can make them active again. So your drop down becomes just 2 of them instead of 10 inactive members. So that we have just added change. You have got a user here. The next, so the last one here is the red button is the new one which you added after CCAvenue, balance and pay now. So this, after we incorporated the payment gateway, we have added this button. So this shows you the balance. So we have changed the system in such a way that I think these guys had a lot of problem in getting the money, and this was going on, for communication was going on. So I think we have kept a credit limit of 2,000 rupees now. So if your credit is 2,000 rupees, you can submit the results. If your balance is more than 2,000 rupees, you cannot submit the results. So you have to make the payments. Basically, as you submit the result, you are supposed to make the payment for that event. So then there won't be any balance. So, but 2,000 rupees we have kept because कोई dispute हो गया, कुछ हो गया, so we are still resolving that dispute. So we don't want you to not submit results till that is resolved. So the balance amount, if you have a 6,800 balance, you cannot submit any more results. So you have to make that payment only. So next, AR accounts. So this is where you see all your transactions. So you get all your transactions here. You can go ahead and check whether your transaction is reflecting or. Right now, if you see the last transactions, you will see your online payment gateway, transaction reference number, everything is there. So earlier it was not there because it was bank transfer, so somebody will go to manually show it that you have paid. Now it is right there, you make the payment, you come back here, you will see that the payment is being made, and it shows you the reference number. So then towards the end, you will see the balance at 2 places, again the same balance, you can pay it here. And the note is that the online transfer is not available anymore, because even now, I think after we going online also, somebody made online transfer and they said, in my account, online transfer, we are not checking it anymore. That goes to the bank. Somebody has go check the bank, whether the payment has come, call it, that person is not doing that anymore. So that nobody is doing that anymore. So if you make an online transfer, Divya. So she's not doing it anymore. She's not going to the bank and checking who has made. Yeah. So that is not happening. So if you want immediate this thing, online is the only solution. So you have to make the payment here. The payment is same like the member. Click on that button, you get the same confirmation screen. The only change here is the amount field. For the other payments, the amount field is not editable. Only for clubs, this field is editable. So you can change the amount. So it's not necessary that the balance is 6850. You have to pay 6850. You can pay 6,000 rupees. You can make part payments. So you may want to make one payment from your card, one from one account, one from another account. So just to allow you to do that, you can change this amount and make the payment. It will show in the dashboard. You can come back, click on that same button, come back to this payment screen. It will show you the balance amount. You can still make a part payment. So you can actually make part payments and finish it off from different accounts. So that was the whole idea of giving this, changing the amount here. Otherwise, sometimes this happens, you cannot change the amount, so you have to make the whole payment from one account, and you don't have money in that account, your money in 3 accounts, so now you have to transfer internally. No need. You can make payments from different accounts, so credit card, debit card, everything is possible. So again, you are supposed to verify that this payment is for what purpose, the Pune Organized Club payment. Just verify that before you go ahead and click this button. It takes you to the payment gateway, the same procedure, so I'm not explaining it again. So when you come back to the dashboard again, the second row is SR middle. Raghu will explain that in detail. This is the same SR, which you click on that screen, the same thing here. I'm not explaining that, Raghu is taking care of that. Then you can see your member list, registered member list, and when you click on that registered member list, you see a list like this. Next. See. Here you can see the red button which says people who have not renewed. You can see that also. You can tell them you have not renewed. If we are close to them, you can tell them, "Bhaiya, tumhara account renew nahi hua." You have some control over your members. In the conversation yesterday, there something happened that we should have a orientation type for your new members. Maybe that's something we can add here. Who are the new members? Remain them. So those kind of things can be improved here. So we will discuss those things based on yesterday's feedback and maybe improve on this list and what all can be done with this list, whether common mail can be sent to these members or some grouping can be done about new members. You can filter out new members. Maybe you can download this list and then play around that. Those kind of things will improve on this. The third one is Independent India members, which is open to all. This is the members who are not affiliated to anyone. You click on that, you see the whole list of all the members who are registered as Independent India. So basically you have access to your club members and the Independent India club members. Those two lists every club has got access to. Other individual clubs, they don't have access to. Yeah. Next. Yeah. The third. Okay. Change event is a new thing which will come up now, which is not there right now. There's a new thing which has happened. Now I think you used to email people for change of event. So we have added this new one there, change event. Next one. So basically what we see is that you know that the change event doesn't happen at is AIR level. It has to be implemented to ACP. The change happens at that level. Yeah.
First of all, you have to understand, and I will be talking more in detail about how to set up a calendar, a comprehensive calendar in the second session. But you have to understand that when we submit our calendar to Audax Club in October, you have to imagine that it is set in concrete. We really do not, Audax Club does not give this facility to change your dates, basically. But again, you adopt the same thing that we are adopting, that, there are issues at ground level. It is set in concrete, but there is a flood. Chennai has, every year on the Brevet Day, either there's been a flood, once there was that riot, the draft riot, Ichido has faced problems on and off in the north, fog, storms, these kind of things.
chart.
So, but you have to understand that that is the level at which there might be some charts here. So that's the reality, that's the ground reality. But what we're saying here is that a change of date in your event has to be for some serious force reason like this. We do get applications, the same day there is some other cycling event in the city or there is some other run in the city. Now that's okay. Now there are tens of thousands of events every single day happening everywhere and there will be overlaps. So, let it pass, it's okay. Those kind of things are not valid reasons. Valid reasons that we're looking for is this. The other thing that we get are errors. Okay? So, errors as in, I was like, I've got 3 brevis on the weekend. By mistake, I put my 200 starting after I've flagged off for 400 on Saturday morning. I put my 200 on Sunday, but actually I want to flag them both off together or some errors like this. So one day, aage piche, we have been doing it unofficially. I've been doing it in the back end. France doesn't know that we do that because France does not allow us to do it. So just keep this in mind when you send an email to the calendar admin for a request. Yeah, that is good.
So that email is not there anymore. This is the module. All those conditions remain. We have to pick up your brevis. Only the future brevis, obviously the brevis which are over cannot be changed. So you will get a drop down of your future brevis. So you can pick that brevet and a new date you can enter. We will be giving a drop down with valid allowed reasons. So these are the reasons which we will allow. And you have to explain it below. So pick up one of the reasons and explain what exactly has happened and submit it.
So the drop down menu may give you an option like civil unrest. Then you go down and elaborate exactly
What happened? What happened? What is the civil unrest? What happened?
Please provide a link to some online.
Whatever. I mean, you have to basically what that is going to present your case of change. You have to present it. I have actually written down. Please explain all the reasons to help the calendar admin to make a decision based on whatever you feel that there is.
To a news article.
Yeah, link to article.
Although it is common knowledge. See, it may be common knowledge today what is happening. Yeah, but 3 months down the line,
It can't change the way
this serves as a permanent record for us, so we can go back to
So you explain it
and
well.
understand exactly what happened, why the change was given. The link will be there to the news article if you shared any such thing.
So basically this is only sending a request, the date don't change. Now the process starts. Just understand that by filling up the form, the date won't change. Then all the background process of checking all this information, checking with the ACP, changing the date there, whatever is to be done. After doing all those process, when it is actually okay to change the date, the club admin will change the date for you and you will get an intimation saying that the date has been changed. So it can take a week's time. Don't give 1 week, 1 day notice and the change kar do. It won't happen because there is a work to be done behind it for. But just to make it easier, we have made this system so that everything is captured in the database. You can pick up the data, pick up the date, pick up the reason, and explain why the date changes happen. Triggers an email. Then all the process remains same, coordinating with the ACP, checking with them why the change has happened, they accept, not accept, all those things will happen. Once it's actually approved, the club admin will change the date. So just don't assume that just by filling this form the date will change. It can be rejected, it can be approved, everything is possible. Okay. Yeah. Homologation and package again, you will be, Raghu will be explaining. But you can, in the website you can see your package, that's what you see. All the dates when you go to your medals and homologations, you can click it there and see the details. The details will be something like this. You click on the date, you will get next slide. So this information will come, but Raghu is going to explain this well. But you have all the details of the medals which has come to you. Now is going back to the dashboard. The first one is a date, a brevet date, brevet category, who is right responsible, email ID, those kind of information are there. And you can update your events. Only the events which are yet to be started can be updated. Obviously the event which has happened, you cannot change anything there. So the update event is only possible for the event which is going to happen. You can cancel an event. So if you are planning not to have an event, you can just cancel it. So date change and cancel. So if you cannot conduct an event and not a valid reason, cancel that event. That's option is right there. If you go down, if you see the number of riders, 31 it's same. You can then cancel the event, show a bus cancel. So nothing is supposed to do that. Once you cancel, the event is gone. ACP results is when you have the results is format located. You can click on this ACP results. It downloads the Excel sheet of your all the homologation with all the details. Overdue is if the results are overdue, it shows up here. So you come here, you can see here that the results need to be submitted. You click on that number, it takes you to the dashboard. So this is the participants dashboard. This is one of the most complicated modules. So a lot of things happen here. The first one is the spot registration. Next one. It's mentioned very clearly that only annual members are allowed to do spot registration. OTI, UIN need to register with AIR first before participating. So spot registration is not allowed. It's mentioned here. So and the system won't take it. So you put an OTR number, it will reject it. It has to be a number. Now you will add one more condition saying that if you are registered after the event closes, those registration also won't happen here. The second box is a summary. Before this is where you submit the results. The button will come here. Before submitting this results, you are supposed to check the small little summary there. This is something which you may have in your head. What are the total number? How many of them are active? How many paid the medal fee, this fee? How many completed? How many DNS, DNF, LF? So you know it. You can have a quick check before going to the details. This gives you a summary before submitting the results. So this is actually before you actually submit. Arey yaar galati ho gaya. Just to avoid that, pause for a second. That's a longer process now. You have check ho gaya, they have to reject the results. You come back here. It's a longer process. Just to avoid that, make sure that you check this summary before you submit the results. And the button for submitting the results will show up only if there is no balance. So right now, the 6,000 balance, the button is not showing up. You have to first make that payment. Once you make that payment, the button will show up at the same spot saying that submit the results. Yes, sir.
Why don't you just disable the submission if there is a YTC on it?
I'm sorry,
Why don't you disable submission of results if the YTC is in it?
Yeah, that is the point is there.
Yes, that's one. I think there's a lot of validation there. That's one which we missed. And we talked about it yesterday. We'll do that. Yeah. Talked it yesterday. There's a YTC, yet to confirm. Yeah. So we have added a lot of validation. There's one which we missed. So yesterday we were talking about that. If there is a yet to YTC, you cannot submit. The button won't be there. So you have to make sure that you have to enter everything. Only when everything is entered and proper, the button will show up. So the button is showing up means there's something is wrong with the data. You have to go back and check. Kuch to gadbad kar diya. So only when everything is okay, the button will show up. Otherwise, the button won't show up. So that I've done it. Lot of validations already there. This one we missed. So that also will add. So the next one is the one below. No, just before. Date. Before. One before. Yeah. So this is where you adjust the time. Let's say your brevet was supposed to start at 6 a.m. But on that day it started late. There's no major change, but it started at 6:30 a.m. So there's a half an hour difference. So it will show up everywhere. So if it has actually started at 6:30 a.m., you can correct it here. That minor correction of time we are giving you here. So you don't have to come back to us for the minor correction time. Because actually वो आधा घंटा late हो गया तो not too good, because all the calculations are made based on the corrected time. So you need to be careful about this. If you go down further, fee remainder and medal remainder, you can click those buttons if there are any people pending for fee or other things. We have the information. You can send reminders. Just click that button. Whoever is paid. So make sure you mark it before you send this. So whoever is paid, you mark it. Medal who was paid, you mark it. Save it. So the reminders are sent to only those who are pending. So this is up to you. You can trigger it anytime, any number of times.
So I did get a feedback yesterday. One or two of you suggested you want to be able to enter medal fee payment link or information on how to pay the medal fee also on the event page, so that when you click the medal fee reminder, it captures that information from the site also and sends it. So we'll add that feature into that, so that right now what it does is when you are activating your event, you are entering how much medal fee you are going to charge. So the medal fee reminder is only sending that data, that you are yet to confirm whether you want to have the medal, and this is the amount for the medal. But we'll add another option there on the update events page, where you can put medal fee payment, just as how you are able to put the brevet fee payment information on a separate text box. We'll put that so that the medal fee reminder email will capture that data and send to the riders. Okay.
Next one is a summary of what is all the YTC DNS means. If you go down, next screen. Now, if you go back to the dashboard, all the names will be a link. Earlier it was not, right? The name, if you just see, the names are links now. See, the color has changed to red. That means it's a link now. Earlier it was not a link. This is where something new has happened. So when you click on that link, on that name, it shows up. Next screen. It shows up this page, which says flag a rider. So this is where flagging a rider happens. So if you have seen any incident or something where you want to inform ACP about a rider, you will be using this module. So this module just has got the private information here, which is taken up. Then there is a place for you to fill up the information. So if it is incident which you have seen, like any rule violation or whatever it is, you want to flag it up to the ACP. This is where you use it. So basically you fill up this information here and submit it. So basically this is an internal confidential communication between right responsible and AIR. So
this is related to the cheating cases, suspected cheating cases that have been taking place all over the country. Now, because we give the freedom to the riders to move around anywhere, there needs to be a system in which to alert an organizer. Somebody who's cheated in Chennai is going to ride some other part of the country. The other one, he's going to Ahmedabad, say. Ahmedabad organizer needs to know that this is a suspect case. Now, as you all know, we strictly don't allow riders to ban them if they are caught cheating. We have to understand that our role as ride organizers includes being a policeman, being the judge, being the detective who finds out that these things happen. So these are the things that you have to do, and then finally you give us this data and information to us, and then the discipline committee or the core committee sits together to actually see what it is. So one thing is that you will have to learn how to deal with these situations. Reports from fellow riders. You will have to learn to use your judgment. A fellow rider complained, "Oh, I saw that guy cheating." Now, is there any evidence of it? If repeatedly many riders report about somebody, suspicions about someone, then it is time for you to make an alert. Now, at the time that you have valid reason to suspect that somebody has cheated. So very often, like some of the cases that we have had over the years, the very first case in India which took place was of a woman who was caught cheating in Bombay. What happened in the back end was that a rider suspected her because he saw a suspicious behavior in terms of he would see how she was riding, and then he would go ahead, and we stopped somewhere, and then she goes, and then at some point suddenly she appears in front again. So this happened repeatedly on long rides, and he suspected her. And he reported her that this is what I suspect to the brevi organizer, Anil. Now, at that point, there is nothing that Anil can do or I can do or anything. The only thing is that it was enough for Anil to now think that I have to keep an eye on her. And she was moving to become the second woman to finish an SR in India. So her next brevi was a 600. And for the 600, Anil was riding himself. He started to get these little suspicions. After that, he had to quit his ride because a fellow rider fell sick, and he got into the official car. Anyway, he had already warned the officials in that marshalling vehicle that keep an eye on what's happening with her. He got into the official vehicle also. What transpired during that night was that the official vehicle, there were very few riders, official vehicle would constantly try to find where she is. Ask her, give us your location, you're riding alone, we'd like to ensure your safety. She would not respond, phone is off, you can't get through to her. Then she suddenly pops up somewhere where they didn't expect her to be just by calculating her speed. And she's disappearing for a few hours at a time. Finally at the turn point, she landed up at the turn point, made a quick turnaround and left. The officials were still wrapping up to move from there. They decided, why I'm giving you this in detail is that there was a lot of thinking into the actions that they took. Now the official vehicle decided to hang back and watch her. But even there, they didn't let her know that they were doing that. They basically told her that, okay, are you okay? Then we're going to move ahead because we're going to keep an eye on the other rider, usko bol ke. They moved ahead, hid somewhere, waited for her to pass. Then again she vanishes. Much later in the afternoon, then they were following, they finally found her again, and they followed her, observing her without her knowledge. At this point, they saw her stopping repeatedly to talk to truck drivers. And then they hung back, watching all this. Finally, they see her, I think they pulled into some petrol station or something. Behind the building they went and hid, because the car is also identifiable. And they see her getting into a vehicle. Even here, she has got into a vehicle. Now, we have a rule that says very clearly, if you are getting into a vehicle, you have to make a communication to the right officials that you have quit. If you don't have signal, you put the message out. Outgoing mein dikhega na. You put it on WhatsApp, you put it on whatever you send it as a message, it will still show. Even if the message doesn't go, the text was attempted to be sent, phone calls were attempted to be made. You have to prove that you were not trying to cheat. That onus is on the riders. We have made it clear in our rule. So, she got into the vehicle. But there's a possibility that if they stop her now, she'll just say, no, I'm tired, so I got it. So they didn't say a word to her. Now there was proof, evidence, Anil himself has seen it, they attempted to take a video also. The other rider who was riding, Mohinder Singh, a very strong rider, he finished at about 9 o'clock. Now she starts to contact the organizers because she doesn't want to jump ahead of this strong rider. So now she calls up the organizers and asks them, oh, where's Mohinder ji? Yeah, I'm doing the whole drama. What a scene we had with that one. So now she wants to make sure that she doesn't actually go and swipe her card before this strong person. So she tried to figure out where he is, and whatever they told her, I don't know. Finally she goes to the finish line. It was an ATM control. None of them went over there to receive her or anything. She swiped her card. After that also Anil is still waiting. She has to now claim that she has finished, ask him to homologate. Only then you know that there is a very clear this thing of cheating here. Because otherwise, at any point in this, she could have just turned around and said, no, I was just tired. Which is a case which we have had occur a month ago, where a rider was, a suspected rider who was, unfortunately, his red flagging system was not in place. So the directors were aware, the core committee was aware of the ride responsible was aware and had reported to us. But the next, fortunately, so I can just talk about it. It's Chakravarti had seen a rider cheating on his brevet. Not seen, but suspected. And a fair volume of not evidence but suspicion that this is a case of cheating reported to us. Fortunately, he is in touch with Chiro, so he had told Chiro that this is the situation. And Chiro was keeping Partha. And Partha was keeping an eye on the rider. And the rider again displayed same suspicious behavior. Phones are suddenly not working, going off, battery died, phone got lost, all kinds of excuses about what happened to your phone. And he was caught in a vehicle. And he attempted to make this excuse again that he was this thing. But now by this time there was a fair amount of volume of thing to say that okay, he's definitely cheating here. So like I said, you have to play the role of detective sometimes to get the evidence that this is happening. So we have had, now again, there may be plenty of cases that people do cheat and get away with it. Our idea is that even if they get away one brevet or two brevets, at some point or the other they have to be caught and removed. And we are ruthless about it because we want to discourage others from thinking about it. So our rules are designed to ensure that people don't think, acha, ek time kar liya, so they'll excuse me. So because some people said that first time cheat kiya, so you should let them ride again. Yeah, but then everybody, all 5,000 members will say, okay, then we cheat once. So now the thing is that.
So regarding the first time cheating also, see, ignorance of the rules cannot be claimed as an excuse. Okay, I find repeatedly that is the reason for flagging, because that is the first excuse riders give. Oh, I didn't know this was not allowed. We've gone over this again and again yesterday, even today. Rules. I mean, people have to be aware of the rules.
Red flag record will have a different background color. Yeah. So that record will have a different background color. So if you see on the screen, you will see that record separate. So if you see that record, you will see a small little flag just before the name. You mouse over there, small pop-up comes out. It tells you whatever the club admin has written about that flag. So it could be a small little message that this rider has been suspected in somewhere else. So keep an eye on this thing. Whatever message the club admin wants to give will be visible to you. So this is for the rider responsible to keep a watch on the club. If you also find a suspicious activity of the group, you have to still click on that name, and you can also submit your own. So the club, so he will get multiple complaints. So it is recorded. So 2 clubs are flagged in, 3 clubs are flagged. So that means there is some serious, this is serious matter. Then we will think about of blocking them and all those, suspending them, and all this happens at that time. So we will actually have a suspended members list also added eventually to the list, so that they cannot register again. So when they come back to register some other email ID and all, we will capture that also. That is not been big. That will happen eventually. That is members who have been suspended. This is not suspended, this is a red flag. So this is one step before suspending. This is a warning to the RRs to watch for this rider. The rider also sees something suspicious, the RR is supposed to comment on that. So that is how this will make sure that all this deadwood is being taken out of the system. So this is a small little thing which I've added. The rest is all same. You go ahead. Medal checkbox are there. There's no change in here. You can enter the results. You come back to the downloads. Next. So all you know this. There's nothing to explain there. Downloads is where you do all the printings and everything. There's no major change there, except if you see on the next one, you can print the control sheet in different sort order for your convenience. And that's the only thing which is there. But the results should be in the last name alphabetical order. So that is where everything is there. We don't manage it in any other way, but for your convenience, if you want it in some other order, You can take printout in different orders. One thing I want to tell you, there's in the control sheet for UAR, underage rider, the control sheet will have the name of the underage rider and care of the parent's name. That's one way of you identifying an UAR. So one from the rider number with the U at the end, and the name will have Dandas Joseph care of the parent's name. So you can easily identify the rider and the parent, and you can ensure that the parent also is one of the rider there. So for you, all the control sheets will have underage rider with this one added. That's it. Any questions? Quickly, very quickly.
Yeah, we have one more module.
We have one small module, but
Yeah, but please restrict it only to club modules now. Yeah.